Well, I'm at it again, making my way down the trail. Got a couple nights out in the woods planned. I'm going to start here, making my way about 4 miles in. I'm going to branch off, go into the wilderness area, and spend 2 nights doing some exploring. Glad to be out here again, but I'm in a bit of a hurry to get to camp because daylight is fading. It's the day after Christmas, which means it's only a few days after the solstice. I'd like to get camp set up, get a bunch of firewood processed. It's going to be pretty cold tonight, down to about 30. Might get some snow. And the same thing tomorrow. Got a lot of exploring I plan to do tomorrow too. Thanks for watching. Alright, here we are. Very nice just to be able to get out of the wind immediately. Usually I'm in a tarp shelter, but this time got all sides covered. Alright, time to get sleeping bag laid out and think about some dinner. Somebody was nice enough to build a fire ring ahead of time, and got a good amount of kindling and fuel for tonight. Oh, and another piece that I can cut up here. That should do me. I won't be up too late. Well, as luck would have it, it's a very windy night, It's in the upper 30s right now. Not too cold, but very windy. I'm glad I brought my full, all sides covered Tarptent tarp. This is from the StratoSpire Lithium. Left the inner at home, and so I'm just in here with all my gear. It's very spacious that way, actually. I have my Thermarest foam pad, the R value of 2. Then I have my Thermarest XLite, which is now I believe 4.2 or something like that. For the ratings change, it was 3 something. But either way, add those two together, it's plenty of warmth. I have a Western Mountaineering Versalite 10 degree down bag, plus base layers. So I should sleep very comfortable. The forecast does call for some snow, and we'll see if that rings true. Plan to get up early in the morning, get things situated. As I said, I have exploration planned, so I've got a number of GPS points, coordinates mapped out, and hopefully they'll lead to some very scenic either bluff views or creek and river views. This is all based off of some satellite data and just reading the topographical maps. It's always a bit of a guess as far as what will actually be there and whether or not you can get to it, but that's part of the fun of the exploration. I've done a lot of trails in Missouri here. Not every one or anything like that, but a lot of them. And also, a lot of them may tend to look the same, going through hardwood forests with the occasional pines or something like that. So these days, I'm getting into bushwhacking and exploration in wilderness areas in the Mark Twain National Forest. But the only time here that it's really worth doing that is in the winter, because I'm not going to come traipsing through here when all the bugs and brush are high. So that's about all for tonight. I come to you by the light of a headlamp, so hopefully it comes through there. But anyway, we'll see what the morning holds for us. Sleep well. That says 35 right now, but I have to say it seems to feel a lot warmer than that. My breath isn't even really making any vapor this morning, but nevertheless, glad to have my big insulated outer layers. These are, I believe, USMC surplus. I think they call it the Happy Suit. It's really nice. It's a big, thick Primaloft jacket and pants. I think there's booties to go along with it, but I haven't gotten those yet. And as I mentioned last night, it was very windy, so I did not have a fire. There's too much dry wood and leaves around here for that to be safe. Flip side is collecting fuel is actually pretty easy. So I'm excited for this coffee. Normally the fuel bottle is flipped the other way. If you leave the valve open and flip it the wrong way, there's a little pocket of air in here, and the system will draw fuel until it hits only air, and that way you can force out fuel in the line. That way when you take it apart, you don't drip a bunch of fuel everywhere. I didn't burn my tongue like last time. Hmm. Almost seems like a game trail right here. I can see a depression, a little leaf litter, a little disturbance. Oh, there's turkeys out there. 1, 2, at least 3 big ones. That's cool. I saw some turkeys on the way in. Man, they blend in. There goes another. Oh, there's some in the bottom. They're all clearing out. Alright, I'm just following this creek bottom. It should take me out to the banks. A much bigger creek. Though how much water is in, we'll see. It's kind of dry around here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, a lot of sticker bushes down here. Cool. All right. I'm trying to go that way. Let's see if I can follow the ridge here or something like that. I came from that much higher ridge way up there. Alright, cool. So I just peeked out from over there. Came up this little flat above. Scrambled down here. And I think we're in business. Because what I need to do is follow the north side of this, which is along here, and head on back to all my points. It's very pretty back here though. Gentle stream. It's quiet. once I have waterproof boots. So I'm just gonna trudge through here. Alright, check back later. Well, it's just as I thought. There's a beautiful bluff. It's a huge rock shelf campus somewhere up there, probably a little bit further this way. But that's really cool. Maybe if you can go deep enough back in there, there's a cave entrance. Who knows? More rocks, more bluff face features. And palm trees on top. Alright, making my way uphill from downtown, no just kidding, making my way uphill from that creek bottom, and seems to be some sort of established ATV foot traffic kind of rut here. Who knows over the decades. I'm going to take this as kind of a pathway over to another ridge and bluff complex, and then see what I can see from the top side, and also make my way back down to the creek bottom there and see what that has to offer. Overall, it's a pretty darn nice day. They have called for combination of rain and snow showers. I appreciate that nothing's falling from the sky, though a little bit of snow would definitely be neat, just from a gear testing perspective. That's alright. I've just been chowing down on this air-dried beef. It is like a jerky, but it's also shredded. It's in pretty fine, small pieces, and I love that. Because then you can just eat it right out of the packet without really having to use your fingers, which could be dirty. But the other thing is, it's really spicy in a good way. It's got the Carolina Reaper pepper, but also scorpion, habanero, cayenne, chipotle powder, jalapeno powder, white pepper, garlic powder, coriander, clove, nutmeg. I mean, this is some high-end jerky, and 29 grams of protein for just this one packet. And it's very satisfying. Alright, next up we've got the crackers and apple jelly. There's a lot of spice left after that jerky. And this was definitely vacuum sealed, you can tell because of the sound. Oh, nice. A nice golden color. It almost tastes kind of buttery, but I don't know. There's no butter in it, but that's really nice. All right, let's dig into the main course. Ooh, that's really nice. I see chicken, carrots, a bunch of spices, some rice. Looks pretty good for coming out of a bag. And it smells extremely homemade. Very savory. Peas, carrots, some red peppers, I think. Yeah, this is gonna go quick. Well, it was really sunny when I sat down for this lunch, but I'm already detecting a very few snowflakes, so I think that weather pattern's making its way towards me. So I better hurry up and eat this chocolate chip cookie. Yes. That looks nice. It's definitely the crunchy variety as opposed to the soft variety, but I think chocolate chip cookies are kind of like pizza. You know, most of the time they're good. Even a bad chocolate chip cookie is still better than none. And this is not bad. I'm gonna get a move on here so I can build back up some body heat. I'd like to stay and make a coffee, but it'll take a little time. So for now, I'll just go with the pink lemon power stick beverage with electrolytes. Okay, that's very pink. And it tastes good. It's definitely more diluted than it's supposed to be, but I don't mind that. It's kind of like pink lemonade flavor. Yeah. All right, well that weather came in a little bit. things got cloudy and cold, and up on the ridge it was windy, so finished lunch just in time to come down to the bottoms again. A little more peaceful. Beautiful creek. Beautiful. Look at that. I'd like to get closer to there should be a bluff up there too, but not like it was back at the other complex. It's really thick. Might not be able to see much or get to much. Well, I found a little bit of a pathway in. It's not as impressive as the other one, the other section. But there's still some nice rock features. And that little pine tree way up there is hanging out right on the edge. Otherwise, it's messy down in here. Wouldn't want to be here in the summer. Alright, I'm thinking about getting back to camp. Get a fire going. Kind of taking a shortcut distance-wise. Very steep. But I thought it would be cool to get in with these huge boulders. Just go up that chute there. Of course, that is level. Oh, not bad from all the way down there. That was a nice scramble. Actually looks way worse from the top. Alright, on we go. Alright, camp is that last ridge through the trees there. And that means I need to keep up with something like a 24-ish degree azimuth. And pick up my glove. Straight up that hill through the Flurries. Oh, and filled up my water again, so now I'm back to 4 liters. Alright. Home sweet home. Ooh, that's nice to see. All right, let's make another coffee. Huh, let's go. Normally I don't put creamer and sugar, but hey, came in the MRE. Getting close. Beautiful. Let's recap the trip so far. Yesterday afternoon I drove here and I hiked in about 5 miles, made camp. I gathered some firewood, although I didn't have the opportunity to use it because it was very windy. But I made some dinner and had my shelter and basically relaxed for the rest of the evening. Then I woke up this morning. My alarm went off at about 5:45, but of course I didn't get out of bed till about 7. And I took my time getting things ready and eating breakfast. And I rolled out of here about 9 with my gear, maps and everything. And I hit a variety of points that go down this ridge and along creek bed. There's multiple creek beds. And I went that way, came back up. Overall it was a multiple mile loop. I'll give the reading later, but I saw some great scenery, lots of nice water and pine trees and bluffs and things like that, a little bit of wildlife. This trip is different than usually what I would bring as far as everything being ultralight. So I have some insulated boots, which I normally never bring, but it is winter and I thought I would try them out for once, especially knowing that I might have some water crossings and things like that. So some insulated waterproof boots, and they've done great. I have, clothing-wise, layer-wise, actually a lot of military surplus. Stuff from the ECWCS or ECWCS system, because I wanted things that were a little more hardy than all the down-filled stuff that I have. They're definitely heavier and bulkier, but on a shorter trip like this, as far as distance goes, the weight and the volume, it's not a big deal, so I've really enjoyed that and been grateful for it. This is an extremely warm top, and so are the lower layers there, and they've performed great. Conditions have been in the 30s, more or less, although right now it's getting a little bit colder, and you can hopefully see the snow. Flurries. Not a lot of snow, but it's nice for sure. If you've watched this far, I'm very grateful for your support, and if you'd like to subscribe or comment, that would help a lot, as you know. I actually have really enjoyed making this video, and hope to continue to do so. For the rest of today, I will probably have another MRE for dinner. I'll probably make a fire because there's only a light breeze, and it's cold. And that'll probably wrap up the evening, and then tomorrow morning I'll head back out and head home. So that's the update for now. Thank you. Overall, I'll keep my fire a little bit smaller than this, but I kind of like to build them big just in the beginning so I get a good base of coals. That way I can add 1 or 2 pieces of fuel at a time as I need it over a long duration. But this feels really good. Now that is just beautiful. It really came in quick. Air temp is about 35. Alright, it's a little early, but you know, hey, it's winter, so time for the Tuscan beef MRE. Inside we have Tuscan beef, ooh, more air-dried beef, crackers, and this time, cheese spread with jalapenos. Fruit punch power stick beverage. And dessert is another chocolate chip cookie. Now I don't know if this is sanctioned, but I did take the jalapeno cheese packet, which is kind of cold and hard, put it in next to the FRH pouch. The result is a very nice, I guess, kind of nacho cheese. Let's try that on a cracker. Oh yeah, very spreadable. Very spreadable. Brilliant. crackers break easy. That is good. I managed to finish the rest of the crackers without spilling everything everywhere. Tuscan beef says it has water, beef, cannellini, white beans, diced tomatoes, Tuscan seasoning. Ooh, modified food starch. Well, at least the first several ingredients sounded good, so let's crack into it. Ooh, I think this smells the best yet of anything I've ever had. And it's true, there's lentils, beans, spices, tomatoes, you can see it all right in there. This looks like a home-cooked meal too. That tastes fantastic. I have to say, I don't think these FRHs work as well in colder temps, at least not compared to the testers I had at home. But I guess that would make sense. A lot of chemical reactions are like that. Nevertheless, it's still warm. That is very, very good. Last but not least, the chocolate chip cookie and some coffee. That's it right there. That's it. Awesome combo. Well, here we are again at Sleeping Bag Power Hour. I finished the night with a great campfire. There was intermittent snow and I guess you call it grapple. It's like those little pellets of snow, but it's not hail. Anyway, that was coming in and out, but it was pretty intermittent. I enjoyed a couple more snacks so I can keep my body heat up. Right now it's measuring about 35 or 36 degrees. It's definitely pretty humid. And it's doing a little bit more precipitation, kind of probably more of that little grapple and mixture of maybe even sleet. Overall, good evening. I'm pretty warm here in my sleeping bag and looking to get some good rest. Oh, and the loop trail section, I should say off trail section that I did today, was measuring 3.97 miles.
So not very long, but I did that over about an hour, 5 hours. So I definitely took my time, but that's how that type of thing goes. It's nice to just take in all the scenery, and navigating takes some time too, especially if you do it in part with a compass. So with that, good night, and I'll see you in the morning.
Well, good morning. It's a very wet and chilly morning. It's in the middle 30s, which is those challenging conditions where it's not going to be snow, and if it is rain, it's really cold. It took me a while to get out of the tent because it was raining, or sleeting, something along those lines. But it seems to have held off for now. I think more or less all night it was either snowing or raining or a little bit of both. But I stayed nice and dry and warm, so very grateful for that. And despite the conditions, that does not mean that we will not have coffee. That is an absolute. So I've got the stove on, heating some water, some freeze-dried coffee, and some protein powder cereal. So I'll have all that, and then I'll pack up and get out of here. Perfect. All right, everything's wrapped up, packed up, and it's getting cold and windy again, so it's time to get going. Oh, that's better. Brings life back to my toes and my fingers. Gets the blood circulating. You know, I think the champion of this trip might be the waffle top. I've been wearing that over my hiking shirt, like a sun hoodie, and that carried me through just about all the conditions yesterday when I was moving. And I did not get sweaty or too chilly. So thanks, Waffle Top. Well, it turned into a beautiful morning. The precipitation kind of went away. There's a little bit of sun coming out. I had a really great time on this trip, and that's pretty much the end of it. So thank you for watching, and let me know if you'd like to see some more.